Hello? Ugh, man. How about now? Hello. Test 1, 2. I think I was recording something yesterday and I muted my microphone. Okay, we're good now. Yeah! Hello. Howdy do. Howdy do. Partners. It's go time. It's motherfucking go time. Today we're finishing a level. We're wrapping it up. Calling it done. Putting a bow on it. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh yeah. How's it going? Let me add everyone on Discord before someone yells at me. All right. How's it going? It's a Sunday. I usually don't stream this much, but I might as well since I'm home alone, doing nothing else. I could be playing Marvel Rivals, but
Shit, my
someone's got to
pants,
finish this
I did.
game. Life. Yeah, so true. So true, bestie. Scotty, think of the 22 months. Thank you. Appreciate it. $22 month-a-roos. Thank you. Almost at 2 years. Holy shit. Someone remind me, I need to make a 3-year and 4-year sub badge. We're almost there. I think we are at 3 years, I'm pretty sure. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. Anyways, where the fuck am I? I'm so confused. Where am I? What was I gonna do? I was gonna do something. Where the hell am I? I was gonna do something and I don't remember what it was. Anyways, whatever. Yeah, damn. Brightside, how's it going? Yeah, how's everybody doing? I think I was gonna do something. What was I gonna do? I don't remember. Yeah, we need to finish Chock-a-Block. Let's just get this fucker done. We've been spending way too much time on this stupid fuck. This motherfucking level. So let's get in there. Let's get some shit done, man. Let's finish this level. Hey, Krim, just working out while watching you. Hey, put a couple extra reps in there, okay? All right. Put a couple extra reps in there, all right? Show them who's boss. How you doing, Snow? Hope your workout's going well. All right, now we can work properly. All right, so we laid out some enemies in the first area. Very nice. Very nice, very nice. Very, very nice. Feeling good, feeling good. We do need to change the door frame. Let me make sure I find proper door frames, door wall meshes that fits frames. Yes. We have a task in here called door blueprints. However, I think that those are all the doors. I think those are all of them right there. So, done. The proper ad/TV, extra detail, don't really care too much about it. However, the glass in here, let's get that shit going, man. Let's get that shit going. Let Let me go clear my nose. Hold on. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. I'm back. Let's fucking get this party started. Let's put these window frames in, which are technically supposed to be on the other level. I'm not going to do the whole thing. Okay, let's scale this down. I just want a bit of a frame. You know what I mean? I just want a bit of a frame. Okay, what you got? Perfection. That's what we got. Absolute fucking perfection. All right, then we're going to want glass. And we don't want this window. We want the other one, which I believe is this one. Close enough. And then we're going to scale it down. And scale it to the right. And we're going to reduce its resolution. It doesn't need to be that high. Sick. So that's going to be on this level. We're going to copy paste this. Move it over here. Sweet. I need to make sure this is placed in this level though, because we don't need to keep reloading it. Yeah. Always nice to get some work done alongside you. Thanks for the co-working streams. Hey, no problem. I hope it's been proving to be useful, even though 90% of the time when I stream, I am not being very productive. So I hope that is not seeping onto everyone else who is attempting to work while I stream. You know, that might be a problem. I hope it's not. We should make these doors a different color so that the player feels like they should go through it. You know what I mean? A red door could be kind of sick. You know what I mean? That could be kind of cool. A little bit of different color. Ooh, I like ye. Tough to stream game and music development, so unengaging. You can either get work done or entertain us with your push-ups and banter. You know, I think it's I'm sure there's a healthy like mix in there somehow. There's got to be a healthy mix in there. You know, I'm not like an entertainer. Don't get me wrong. Like, I ain't no like professional comedian or something who can just like come up with shit off the top of my head. But you know, I try. Dude, why is this zero location pivot still fucking broken? That's really infuriating. I think I tried to fix it, but I clearly did not do a good job of it. Um, hmm. I have a picture in my head how we could do this, but yeah, I am going to have to do it because all of these meshes are losing their light information. I had to create a caching system because some of these would end up losing their cache. So I'm going to put this on the to-do list. But we got the glass in, so that's a step forward. A step forward for mankind. Sometimes I just rewatch Crimson's Fantasy and imagine what could have been. Dude, anybody can work on a game like that. Like, literally anyone. I didn't even get that far. I didn't even get that far. Literally anyone could work on a game like that. And do probably a much better job than I could have. And maybe even do it in co-op. Like, you know? You know, Sass. How you doing, Bobby Felix? You know, Treffle? What's the best way, in your opinion, to start learning UE5? Best way to just get into it is, in my opinion, first, you know, install it, start a project, and throw whatever free marketplace assets you can into a scene, and just mess around with it. You know, I recommend the asset that I always recommend because it gives you so much stuff to just play around with. And just move things, you know, get used to like moving things around, copy pasting, you know, kind of get in tune with the engine before you start diving into blueprints and shit like that. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Yeah, this asset's great because it gives you so much stuff to play around with. Assetsville Town is fantastic. It gives you so much stuff to just like, you know, play around with it, make a little street and kind of just get into it. And then once you feel comfortable with kind of just like copy pasting stuff and whatnot and just messing about with it a little bit, then you can start diving with like, you know, maybe start like a third person template, you know, or a first person template. And then as you use these assets, maybe you could do, I would always recommend, if you want to learn blueprints specifically, it really depends on what you want to do, right? UE5 is an engine meant for like tons of different skills, right? So if you want to do like anything and just be able to make things and make a game and do like the whole stack of stuff, I would say start with that. And then I would start with an interaction system. I think that's one of the easiest kind of things to get into, and you kind of start scaling up from there, right? So I would start with an interaction system. My YouTube channel has a tutorial for that. And then kind of scaling outward, like make it so instead of just interacting with a button that turns on a light, maybe you open a door, which I also have a tutorial for. Maybe then you start branching out and try to make a really simple inventory system, right? So you kind of start layering it. You start learning specific skills pertaining to each little thing, but everything will start stemming from that interaction system. I think that's a great way to start learning personally. Yeah. I wouldn't get too crazy into like, don't start doing any like AI behavior yet and stuff like that. I would say stick to player interaction, player behavior, and controls and stuff like that first. You know, figure out how to get the player to crouch using the built-in character movement component crouching, which is relatively straightforward. But that at least gets you kind of started with like the new UE5 input system and stuff like that. So, yeah. thing I'm missing the most is the community involvement. I remember when you posted the trailer board and I was hyped. That could very well be the thing that we end up doing for the zombie game, Felix, which is kind of why I'm looking forward to it, is going back to that YouTube flow, you know what I mean? Oh, interesting. Oh. The whole year. Trying to make a simple tower defense game right now. I actually made a simple enemy that goes into a specific point. Okay, cool. Oh, hell yeah. All right, well, that's a start. So if you're doing a simple tower defense, then you're doing probably top down, I would imagine. Okay. Yeah, if you're doing top down, then you know, like start with doing cursor hover events over things, being able to click on things that then I feel like because of a tower defense, you're going to be leaning a lot into UI. So I would say a good thing that you could learn is maybe how to use the widget blueprints. Could be a worthwhile thing to kind of dive into if that's specifically the type of thing you want to make, the type of games you want to make and whatnot, right? Yeah. Yeah, we'll probably do that again though, Felix. I could see myself doing that again, especially for the zombie game, doing the whole community involvement stuff for sure. I could see that being being the case. Yeah, that's probably how I would do it, Truffle. It sounds like you're kind of already kind of into the thick of it though, right? I would just say figure out where your footing is and kind of like figure out the next steps from there. This is where you stream mainly? Yeah. Most of the chat is on Twitch because I've been streaming on Twitch for who fucking knows how long. YouTube, I just recently started this week, or like I guess Monday. So yeah. Feel like you know, it's so funny. I look back at those Crimson's fantasy videos and I cringe so fucking hard, man. I cringe so hard, dude. I kind of want this floor in the security area to be a different material. But then we have this for some reason. Yeah, widget blueprints are a little bit of a learning curve. So, you know, give yourself time to kind of learn it, you know? You know, frustration is just part of the job, right? So if you get frustrated, just, you know, take a little break, step back, figure out what the problem is, and then move forward from there. That's probably like the best advice I could give. I don't even remember Crimson's Fantasy being that fucking like in depth at all. Crimson's Fantasy. Like I really don't remember this series going far at all. Like I think we got a little bit of basic combat. But it like is ass. It's so crazy because this was just 5 years ago, and I look at this and I'm like, man, what a fucking newbie. What a newbie. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Well, oh god. Oh, the worst part of these fucking videos is what was that? What the hell is that? Man. What the hell is that? Oh my Gerd. Oh, Gerd. Oh, oh. Ah! Oh yeah, this was my first attempt at AI, enemy AI. I think I literally just like followed a tutorial and I did not even understand what I was doing. Now I understand like 5% more. This is my 5th engine switch, and I keep relearning things. I would decide here and now, Truffle. You know, you're saying that you're gonna stay at UE5. If you feel really good in the engine, I'd say just stick with it. You know, stick through it, push through it. The frustration it lowers. The frustration's lower, and it gets better. I get bored of tutorials, but I feel like they're necessary. So I would look at tutorials in a different way. Don't take everything from the tutorial, as in like taking each piece by piece. I would take specific things that hopefully the person in the video is teaching and take tidbits of it and then push it towards your own attempt at solving the problem, I guess. Like for AI, there might be a moment in time where you do have to like watch some fucking videos and kind of follow it, which is what I did when I first started out. But then I kind of went through the paces of trying to do it myself, and I think that's when you really start learning more. First enemy verticality? What does verticality mean? Oh, it's just an aim offset. I don't know, dude. Was this the last? Oh no, there's number 10. So I realize is sometimes I don't know what to search to attempt on a solution to your problem. Right. I think Googling is a skill in and of itself that you kind of build as you get better at it. It is a skill to be able to troubleshoot something and understand what you need to kind of search for, and sometimes there's moments where you don't really know, and that can become challenging in and of itself, because then it's like, okay, then how do I fix this problem? What I'd start with is write things down. I'd say write things down. Document, right? If you get frustrated with a skill that you're trying to learn, like widget blueprints, for example, let's say you have an issue where it's like fucking UI doesn't stay in the corner that it should stay in when the fucking window scales or something like that, which is, you know, something to kind of consider. You just write that shit down. You know what I mean? Write down like issues that you have with it, and then over time, you'll probably build up your vocabulary or something on a real notepad or on the computer. Anywhere that you feel comfortable. You know, anywhere you feel comfortable. If you feel more comfortable writing shit in a real notepad, then go for it. If you feel comfortable writing it on a Trello or Notion or whatever the fuck, then do that. I would just probably write it in Notion or whatever. Think of it like a bug list. You're working on a bug list, but it's like kind of a list for things that you need to, I guess, learn or like fix or whatnot. It is technically a bug list if you think about it. What is this game you're working on, by the way? This is this is Suit for Hire. Oh yeah, I forgot. This isn't loading in. It's a top-down action shooter that now has third person for whatever reason. Don't ask me why. It's for diversifying our audience, I guess. Yeah, you could use AI to maybe help you or direct you in terms of things that you could search. Perhaps. I don't know if it'll be the most accurate thing ever. I think at the end of the day, try to find maybe like someone who's close to the, like, you can ask me if you ever have issues, Truffle, just fucking DM me on Discord and I'll try to get to it as much you know, as soon as I can. Especially if it's widget related, I can help as much as possible because I've done a lot of widgets. Does that mean your next game is not going to be top down? I don't know, Bart. If I work on that like God game type thing where it's like you click on shit and you like gather resources and start automating it, that would in theory be top down, because that just makes the most sense for a game like that. But if we do any other game, I don't think I'm doing top down again, to be honest. I think top down Depending on the genre, I feel like, I don't know. I think it really depends on what the game is that I end up working on next. No, I'm not fixing this, if you asked. Listen, I used to be very detail-oriented. Past me would have fucking fixed this, but I don't give a shit anymore. I don't care anymore. I don't care enough anymore. Yeah. It would be nice to have a UE5 community that I can annoy occasionally. Yeah, totally. Totally, man. Having a... There's a huge community of people that are very... help each other, you know what I mean? Like, it's a help each other kind of vibe. You're not alone, right? So don't worry about it. Am I using blueprints? Yes. Yeah. 98% of this game is blueprints. There's a little bit of C++. A little bit of C++. No. No. C++ is for like specific calculations. We have like a function library. It's mostly for calculations. But the projectiles are still, there's still very much blueprint. Like this is the projectile code. So yeah. Yeah, don't look at this. This code has gone through its paces. The game has scaled up a lot. So there's a lot of messy shit in here. A lot of messy shit, you know? The game used to be very simple. Now we just made it fucking more complex than it needed to be. But yeah, you can see a lot of blueprint code everywhere. There's our movement system stuff, some movement stuff. Some ability stuff right here. We got some gun stuff. Don't look here. This is also pretty bad. Score system stuff. A dialogue system, which literally just has one function. Third person stuff. Yeah. How do you even maintain this? You take it you take it piece by piece, right? You take it piece by piece. Like for example, here we have collapsed graphs, right, for like interaction. You know, you just take it piece by piece. This is, remember, this project, I've been working on this for fucking 4 years though. Line trace though, not actual projectiles. It's kind of both, Hellcat. It's a very weird bullet, I will say. Again, probably could have been done way better. Like we actually have a projectile movement on this. But while the projectile moves on tick, we're line tracing forward to make sure that it's like 100% gonna hit whatever it needs to hit. Because I don't trust a fucking collision box to solve my problems. A line trace is just way more accurate. It's way more raw. It gives me the right stuff. Can you do multiplayer with blueprints? You definitely can. You definitely can. I would recommend, if you're first starting out, I would recommend not doing multiplayer. I tried to get into multiplayer when I first started doing blueprints, and it will stunt your learning process. Like, it will really slow down your learning process, because now, like, multiplayer, you have to, like, really fucking... you have to, like, think of everything in different ways. Why do you still have a projectile then? Just cause it works. Just cause it works. You know what I mean? Just cause it works, right? If the thing works, I ain't touching it. It moves forward, it does this on tick, and it kind of handles the movement, and then I just handle the hit registration from line trace. And the line trace is just going forward 30 units. Yeah. Just wondering if I wanted to make one in the future. Yeah, it definitely has replication stuff. Yeah, it definitely does. Now, is it like perfect? I don't know. Probably not. There's probably some stuff that you might have to edit, but it does get a lot of it done for you. The only, I think, limitation is I don't really think you can do peer-to-peer with it. It is a specific like architecture, right? Um, it's client server hosted. Peer-to-peer is kind of different from what I've been told from people that know more than me. It's client server hosted. So it is probably what you're thinking, Treffel. It is that where it's like a server, a client can be the server, right? But the thing is that person is the server. They're handling all the stuff. Whereas peer-to-peer is a bit different in terms of how that works, which is what I learned. It would be cool to have that, but it does not have that, unfortunately. Like built into it. There's no like peer-to-peer system because peer-to-peer is a bit different from what I've been told. Like true peer-to-peer. Peer-to-peer, one of the players is the server. So what I've been told is it's not actually like that. How did Chain Together do the game then, I wonder? Oh, it's just a client server. But I don't think peer-to-peer is client server. Unless I'm thinking of something different. Because I remember someone telling me that true peer-to-peer is different. Yeah, client server is how Unreal does it, which is still an easy thing to do. You don't need to do dedicated servers. You can, right? You can. A client is the server. They host it. They just have to have. I don't think they need to be port forwarded. I think Steam kind of helps a little bit with that. I think, if I remember correctly. Port forwarding, I feel like, is kind of a thing of the past. I think port forwarding is only required if you have a dedicated server. I think Steam kind of handles some of that stuff on their end. So in Unreal, if you're doing client server, you have one client who is a client, but also he's a client, but also a server. And then that sends information to whoever connects, right? So you have another client, another client, another client, right? So this has like, this is the server that's sending information and whatnot. Peer-to-peer, from what I've been told, is a bit different, where it's like peers can send information to other peers. But in this case, you have to send information to the server and the server sends information to other people. Yeah. My Steam's app ID. Yeah, Steam is great for that stuff. It's server client, from what I've been told. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not a networking guy. You know what I mean? I'm not a networking guy. Yeah, so like, let's see, maybe a Redditor might have a better way of defining it. In peer-to-peer, clients are actually sharing data with each other, right? So that's what I remember. Whereas in a server client model, one client is the server, and you're constantly sending information to that server, and that server multicasts to everybody else, right? So that's kind of like the idea. Yeah. Right. Nathan, what are we doing today? Dude, we're fucking, I don't know what we're doing. we're wrapping up some levels, finishing them up so we can give them the blue check mark, the check mark of glory. And then we can add them to the finished list because we're at a solid 0 out of 18 right now. I think this one can be technically detail pass now. Yeah, peer-to-peer is a bit different from what I remember. Yeah. What's this layout you're using for Unreal? This is UE4 with darker nodes. It's a plugin. Is it the day we do some proper cuts? What do you mean, like cutting out more scope? I'm down to cut out one more level. Maybe 2. Maybe 3. Maybe 4. Let's cut out 4 more levels. Let's just cut out all the levels that haven't even been started. The problem is if we cut out a level, the number of levels is going to be kind of awkward. They'll be kind of awkward. That's my only concern with that. Just remove 4 of the 15 levels I came up with because adding content sucks. It's in my game, I actually think adding levels is not a scalable solution to the current problem of the game, being that, like, I think there are better things we can work on that would actually improve the game more than just adding levels, you know what I mean? Even though players think they want more levels, I think realistically we can probably come up with better solutions. But yeah. Like improving the AI, for example, you know, that has probably a more scalable you know, a more scalable impact on the game because every level has AI. So it's like if we improve the AI, we improve the game as a whole, rather than just adding another fucking level that has the same enemies, which we need to make. We need to make more enemies. We need to make more enemies, but like we might knock this shit down to 15. My only problem with that is if we do that, the number of levels we have is kind of becomes awkward. Like Caribbean, we can maybe knock out 1 level and remove it. Roma is we can knock out a level in Roma, but that'll look weird being out of 4. I guess all of these levels are already out of 4, so I guess it's not too big of an issue. Yeah. Did I do this or buy from Fab? The UI I made myself. Yeah, like, I guess we could knock out Ruins if we really wanted to. You know what I mean? Sahara is basically almost done. Rush B just needs functionality. The Sydney series, we could knock out Mad Suit if we really wanted to. Like, we could always just knock that shit out. But I really like the idea of Mad Suit, where it's like you keep going through doors and every room is a different, like, theme slash thing. I think there's something really cool there, but we'll see what we end up doing there. Yeah. There's definitely, we could probably knock out some fucking shit out of here, honestly, if we wanted to. But we're getting there, you know. The levels are making progress. We just have to finish up some of these blockouts and really start. We got to do that soon because I think soon the 2 environment artists that I'm working with are going to be on standby soon. So I gotta give them some new stuff to work on. Yeah. Hey, peace out, Truffle. Good luck with the tower defense stuff and whatnot. Yeah, Mad Suit seems like it could be a really fun one to work on. I'd say good luck, but I'm sure this game will succeed. You know, it's been successful in terms of my expectations, I think. In terms of learning a lot, I think that in its own is given it enough success. All right, Chocolate Block, we need to lay out some enemies and maybe some checkpoints. Do we want to give this level a checkpoint? So once you clear the first room, should we consider that as a checkpoint? I guess so, right? I'm sure a player would find that extremely frustrating. Let's consider the checkpoint right here. When you exceed this point here, then we can consider that as a checkpoint. Or maybe right here. I don't remember how to do this shit. Checkpoint overlap save. It's been a hot minute since I did this. Specified checkpoint. Your next game should be a Vampire Survivor Suit for Hire. I'm genius, I know. I don't want to do a top-down game again, please. Please don't put me back into purgatory. I don't want to. Please. Please. What about a bottom-up game? How about you bottom up? Never mind. I don't know where to go with that one. Vampire Hunters, then? It's a first-person Vampire Survivor? That sounds awful. Let's do it. No, I don't know what we're gonna do next. We got a ton of different ideas of things that we could do next. I don't know. I don't know. So this will be checkpoint 1. Sweet. Top-down audience does seem limited, but isometric games were always my favorite. So here's the weird thing I think about that. It's weird because top-down is both a niche and also not a niche if you look at a lot of the most successful indie games. So yeah, it is limited unless your game blows up. It is limited unless your game blows up. Based on what I've seen from all of the top-down games, it literally is just like that. You know what I mean? Like if you Hades, fucking Binding of Isaac, Factorio, Vampire Survivors, right? But they're more of an indie audience. Like I bet you most of the players there are PC gamers, I would assume. Yeah, obviously third-person games will blow up more, but then you're kind of looking at, I think, a different audience at that point. You're kind of looking at a little bit more of like the casual audience and whatnot who play console games and that kind of stuff, right? Among Us, right? So Top Down's a very weird one. Top Down's a very weird one because it has a long fucking history of successes, but I'm sure it also has a long history of fucking absolute failures too. It's like, it's a weird one. It's a weird one. Make the game you want to play. I agree with that, but at the same time, also there are some games that people want to play that are just not something that'll probably sell well, like in the current ecosystem. it's a very weird fucking thing. Some of those also take like 5 years to make, right? And then there's the, you know, games like 2D side scrollers or whatever, Terraria, for example. Insanely fucking popular. Insanely popular. But some people would look at 2D side scrolling as kind of a niche as well to an extent. But it's a weird one. It's a weird one for sure. I think with third person you have an easier chance potentially targeting a casual audience, which can be both good and bad. Good and bad to an extent. What I learned from game dev after 3 years is I should avoid level-based games. I'm definitely probably moving forward going to avoid level-based games as well, personally. But that being said, I don't think level-based games are necessarily the design problem. It's just I think level-based games are harder to, I guess, keep up with. Like you need to like have a really fucking good game design to like get players to like replay the levels and have a good time with it. And that comes down to like really good nailed down level design. You like need your shit to be like nailed down for those to like work really well. Whereas I feel like with something like other game types that don't necessarily follow like a level structure, like a traditional level structure, might have a bit more leeway. They might have a little bit more leeway depending on how it was designed, of course. Like I think an open space could potentially have more replayability than smaller linear levels, because I feel like those are like one and done type things. But it also depends on the intention of the game. Some games like Ori are more focused on like single player experiences, not necessarily on replayability. Deciding the game genre by making a game level into segments. Yeah, but at the same time, the whole point of adding third person to the game, at least for this game, right? At least for this game, Suit for Hire, we do that where we go into like kind of 2D close up, you know, side scrolling kind of thing. But the whole point of the third person mode is to give the player the chance of playing the game in a different perspective, and it's primarily to expand the audience. Right, the chance of targeting the game at audiences that previously probably would have not been interested in the game. And if we only make third person in specific levels, that's kind of like, that's like, what's the word that I could use here? That's like a ball jerker. That's like a, you know, that's kind of like a bait, I guess. I don't know what the best way would be to say there, right? You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know what the word would be there. Like a roguelike, for example. Yeah, I would love to work on roguelike style games instead. Like there's so many people that want, like there's a review, I think the top rated review for this game that's a positive review is they would love a roguelike mode in this game. And I just, looking back at it, I'm like, this could have been really good, a really good roguelite. To an extent. We could have made some changes, but it would have changed the game as a whole. It would have changed the game as a whole. And I don't have the time and energy to implement something like that now. Nor do I know how to even fucking go about doing that at this point. At this point, I don't know. Cozy platformer / puzzle solver, but the bosses were tough, so people felt like they got hoodwinked because the main game and bosses were almost different games. So we went back and added puzzle ways of beating the bosses for the cozy gamer. I think that comes down to I don't like the word find your hook, but that comes down to like the theme, right? Like if you come up with something that is different than the rest of the game, it could definitely be like not good. Like we added a platforming kind of area to the game. Lots of people fucking hated it. Because it was just a different thing that just did not match the run and gun structure of the game. Very different that, in my opinion, you know, we kind of fucked up on, but, you know. Could be profitable to use what you have and remake it as a roguelike. I just don't want to look at this code anymore. I think that's part of why I'm kind of sick of this project. As I look at all this code and I'm like, there's a lot of shit in here. You know what I mean? There's a lot of garbage in here that I just don't want to look at anymore. I just want to work with a cleaner code base now. Even though it does take a lot more time to make a cleaner code base and whatnot, right? It will take me more time, but I think in the long run, I prefer it. Okay, we got a checkpoint here, checkpoint 1. Should we get a second checkpoint going? I don't know. I feel like from here to here, it's pretty quick. So I think we'll just set the checkpoint here. That's all. That also means you've beaten the enemies that are in this area as well. So we just have to worry about the enemies ahead right here. The smell of fresh folders. That, and also just like, you know, I've improved my skills, I think. I think I'll be able to come up with better code for a future project. I don't know. We could probably work on something. I don't know what the fuck we do. Using the same stuff. Yeah, I don't know. And nothing it just doesn't entice me. I think that's the problem. I'm not like enticed by the idea. I know it could be a great idea. I don't know what I would turn it into. Like someone said I should make a zombie game in top down. It's like I guess make like a little zombie roguelite type fucking thing in top down, like a really simple one. I guess. I don't know. I mean, sure, I suppose. I don't know. I'd rather work on like the actual proper third person zombie roguelite that I have in mind. Because I feel like that'd be more worthwhile. I don't want to work on that one yet. Funny enough. I want to work on it, but I also don't at the same time. Because I kind of want to work on one more game. Or even 2 more games. I want to work on one. I want to really learn C++ first. And dive into a small project with C++. And then I also want to dive into like a really simple multiplayer game. I really want to dive into like a really simple multiplayer game again. So then I can kind of learn things there. You need to make zombies great again. Yeah, I hope I can do a good job of that. Hopefully. Maybe I'm overestimating my abilities, which is why I kind of want to like level up slowly. Don't start to learn C++, you'll forget yourself. I think I'm at a level where I'm comfortable to start doing it. To start learning C++, and I also feel like I need to like I need to learn better I need to learn how to use the engine more. I do want to learn how I can use the engine at a higher capacity. That makes sense. I feel like Krim will finally bring the Dead Nation to PC. What's Dead Nation? That sounds familiar. That's one side effect of C++. You'll be a new man. Trust me, I've been using C++ a little bit. It's fucking stupid. Can I just say, okay, why the fuck in C++, okay? Why, okay, why is it that, so in Unreal, when you break a transform, you get location, rotation, and scale. In C++, when you make transform, F transform, it is rotation, location, and scale. Why? Why? Why the fuck is it like that? Additionally, a rotator, from what I've been told, is not roll, pitch, and yaw in C++. I haven't checked this out myself. It is actually pitch, roll, yaw, or some shit. Why? Why? Who the fuck made that? Who did that? Tim wanted it to be like that. Now they don't want to break everything. Well, yeah, I get not wanting to break everything, but fucking Timmy, motherfucker. Convolute by design to keep developers in business. I shit you not. I was stuck trying to create. I was stuck with like setting a transform variable to something because I was treating it as location, rotation, scale because I was just like, that's just, I think my brain just thought of it that way. And it kept giving me an error, and Ryder didn't really give me the best fucking like explanation of why it was broken. So I was confused until I like, ugh, what is Timmy Sweeney? Both is the solution, but where do you cross the line? I would say start in Blueprint, and then if you feel like you require C++ because there are certain things that are not accessible, then you'd have to use C++, or you have calculations that are really big in Blueprint that are causing frame issues, then you convert that to C++. Basically, bottom line is profile. Just profile. just profile. Basically, the bottom line is just use the profiler. Actually, I just realized because our player start is not here and it's actually across the door, these dudes could actually be in checkpoint 1. And I actually would prefer that. Let's make this guy throw a grenade. Yeah. Unreal Engine is convoluted by design to keep developers in business. Hell yeah. Corpa. I'm going to keep my job, guys. Hell yeah. Listen, if the documentation is shit, that means AI can't take my job, right, guys? It's going to have a hard time figuring out anything. Now that is incredible. Let's make this guy walk back and forth. Like projectiles? Yeah, you could probably do a projectile in C++. For me, it works just fine, but it really depends on like how many projectiles do you have on screen. Again, use the profiler. I couldn't even get AI to find me the C++ documentation. That's because there is none. There is none. It is like extremely minimal. You'll like randomly from time to time find documentation that has like actual C++ examples, and you're like, fuck yeah. You don't expect that for everything. You're not going to see that everywhere. You're not going to see that everywhere. Yo, Krim and fellow chatters, where do I go to learn more about graphics and some game dev shit so I'm not asking a million different questions, not talking out of my ass about things? Well, you just, you know, when you're like, where do you go to learn more about graphics? In what way graphics? Like 3D graphics? Oh, my chest is tight. Like rendering, like graphics programming. You know, I mean, like, lighting, for instance. Well, you would look for that specific thing, right? Like, everything is, there's so many different facets of game development that it's like, it's not asking how do game is like asking how do build house with plumbing and electricity and HVAC and air conditioning and that makes sense. Is that a good comparison? That feels like a pretty good comparison. How do build house? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, you have to be very specific with it. I think that's the biggest thing. You got to be specific with what you want to learn. You can't just write how do game dev. You know what I mean? Like, it's like asking how do start restaurant. You know, like it's a big. You got to find the thing that you want to learn about and then start there. I don't even know what I don't know. Well, that's the, what's that thing called? There's a paradigm for that. It's like you don't even know what you don't know or whatever. Like what's the purpose behind it, Wamps? Is it just like you want to learn about it to kind of be more knowledgeable about it, or do you want to like start making things? Because if you want to start making things, I would say just fucking download and install an engine and just fucking throw yourself in there and just fuck around with like simple primitives and whatever. Just like I said earlier, if you do UE or Unreal, I would say just boot that shit up, start a project like a third-person template or something, and throw in some free marketplace assets and just fuck around with it. My chest is tight, dude. Ugh. Fucking, ugh. Someone get some fucking, just fucking, just. I would say if you're doing Prismatica, you're looking for specific things. Prismatica is great for specific things in accordance to shaders and stuff like that. But those are going to be very specific things, I would say. I don't know if I want to make things, but if I'm going to critique games for running like shit, oh god, I know where this is fucking going. I should at least know what I'm talking about. I would say just don't even fucking bother, man. Just say game runs like shit and don't act like you know more, because you're going to be spending years looking into that shit, into graphics programming and rendering and... Why are you advertising Epic today so much? Stop. Sorry, might be. Listen, I don't agree with... In my opinion, I used to say that in the past. I used to say you should make a game before critiquing things. But then I understood that that is just a fallacy that I think is incorrect. Like, you can still critique things, but being within the realm of what you understand and know and whatnot. I don't agree with the people that say you should make a game. I only would say you should make a game if you start using points in your arguments that are too close to the development state, where you're trying to act like you know more than you know. I think you can still critique something without acting like you know the behind the scenes. You know what I mean? Like Nanite Guy. If game runs like shit, game runs like shit. You can say that, you know? If game looks like shit, game looks like shit. I don't think you need to be a game dev to know when something looks like shit. You know what I mean? But don't start saying it's the fucking quad overdraw and fucking the tech that they're using. Like, you can say, I don't like frame generation because based on my experience, it made my game look like shit. That's fine. I think that's perfectly acceptable as an argument. I think it's when you start going into the realm of like trying to dig deep into it. What good is game looks and runs like shit to other people? Here's the thing. That's just, you know, like you knowing more than you actually like. The thing is, if you start going into that and trying to learn shit just for the purpose of being able to critique it or maybe go into arguments with it and whatnot, you're going to learn here's the thing you're going to learn when you start going into graphics programming and rendering. You're going to learn, holy fuck, this is hard. And then you're going to give it probably more respect. And then you're probably not even going to argue about it, because then you're going to see, wow, this fucking sucks. I want to make things better, not just shit on it. Then I would start with reading books. I shit you not. Like, if you want to learn about, it seems like you want to learn more about graphics programming and rendering. That stuff, I'm not a graphics programmer. I'll put that out there. I'm not a graphics programmer. Don't fucking know anything about it. I only know the bare basics, enough for me to profile and potentially optimize some of my stuff. But you're going to want to learn some of that shit. There's coming to the discussion, the Grifter's most recent video. No. But I think part of the conversation is stemming from that to an extent. But I don't think it is necessarily that. Yeah, you're gonna want to learn direct. You're gonna want to learn fucking DirectX. You're gonna want to learn some of the rendering. I don't know any of that stuff. Like let's see here. Game dev graphics programming. Let's see what we can find. Where can we go? If you want to learn about Unreal specifically, Unreal Engine rendering pipeline. I'm pretty sure there's a post that I saw that I thought was really good. You could read this. This is a pretty good website, but it's somewhat surface level. It's a little bit more deeper. I thought this was great, at least for me as a dev, to kind of learn a little bit of like what goes into a frame and stuff like that. Became more of a gameplay programmer. Graphics programming is a it's fucking tough already. B, you're gonna get harassed by the gamers, especially with the current ecosystem that we're currently in right now. So yeah. Yeah, Prismatica Dev, I think I don't know if I would say he's a graphics programmer because he works mostly with materials and shaders. I don't know if I would say that's graphics programming. Whereas more that's like tech art, I would say. I'd say that's more along the lines of tech art. Like you kind of do a bit of graphics programming, but it's not as, I guess, like low level as like what you would assume for graphics programming. You can't be an indie game dev and graphics program at the same time. It's just not feasible. You're going to be spending years doing that, that's for sure. You need to do a lot of graphics programming on engines like UE, or is the benefit is that they came with that laid out already? You can probably do most. You can probably make an entire game without even ever touching graphics programming whatsoever. Shaders are most of graphics programming. When I look at graphics programming, I look at it more of a low level, like anti-aliasing, things like Nanite, for example, or Lumen. You know, like implementing those kind of systems. I would look at things like using the front-facing material editor as more like tech art, personally. Like if we were to like separate it in like a AAA scenario, like you could look at it as graphics programming if you go like really low level with it, with like crazy post-processing effects that like changes the game entirely, I guess. Right? I'm a game developer, not a software engineer. It's funny you say that, Zero. I think that was literally one of my replies to a tweet. Someone was like, someone sent me a response to something. It was some shit, and I said, I'm a game dev, not a software engineer. Because it was like some shit related to like, I don't even know. I gotta find the tweet. It's kind of funny. Can you search replies on Twitter? I'm guessing no. I don't know where the hell I am. I don't know. Whatever. Can't fucking search Twitter. Did I ever use the custom node, the material graph? Rarely. Rarely. But I know what you mean. It does, you know, that does use the actual like codes, the written out syntax code or whatever. Oh yeah, Acerola, also a good YouTube channel if I remember correctly. Is Acerola the person I'm thinking about? The name seems very familiar. Yes, yes. Yeah. There's probably some good stuff in here. At least from my limited knowledge of graphics programming, it seems relatively straightforward, and or not relatively straightforward. It at least goes deeper into the information about graphics and whatnot, and looking at it from a positive light rather than a fuck you kind of light. You know what I mean? Rather than a fuck graphics programmers perspective. Yeah, if that's something you want to go into, I would just focus on that specifically if you want to learn more about that. But I think you'll notice it is a rabbit hole. There's tiny hints of fuck you in there. What do you mean, Acerola? Rage bait, outrage, hating on DEI/woke sells well these days. In my opinion, if you focus your content on that, you're essentially like a condom waiting to be thrown away and used. You know what I mean? That's basically what you are at that point. Because trust me, people will not fucking care if you disappear. Like, they will not give a shit. Because you're literally just, you're just entertainment, or you're fuel to their like already existing hatred. Or that's why there is no point whenever I saw a tweet. I saw a tweet today. I got to stop looking at Twitter. They were talking about Nanite guy, and there was like 50 replies, and they're like, "Well, well, why don't you just debunk what he's saying? Why waste time doing that? A and B. Also, everyone already has a pre-existing hatred towards, I guess, some of the visual problems that some of the games have. It's not like those are gonna magically fucking go away if you debunk things. It doesn't matter. They don't want to hear you debunking what fucking Nanite guy is saying. They don't want to hear that. They don't give a shit. It's not worth energy at all. Are render targets buggy, or is that just me being dumb? It could be you being dumb. It could be you being dumb. Best engine I can recommend for complete noobs to game development and programming is GDevelop. GDevelop sounds familiar, I think. Yeah, I think I saw a streamer use it. I don't know. For me, I really like Unreal. The blueprints was really able for me. Like, it took me a bit to get into it, but I think it really allowed me to like start grasping programming and code and stuff like that. I still haven't touched Nanite. I use it for contract work, Arrows, because we do a lot more like cinematic stuff and rendering. It's great for that. But there's some shit in there that's kind of annoying. All I know is when I launch UE5, I get half my FPS as I would in UE4. You really have to like change the defaults. You have to like turn off a lot of shit, and then it runs about the same, maybe a little less, because I think there's a lot more like, I think the thing is the hit that's happening by default in UE5, I feel like is Slate. I think they bloated the UI a bit more, and it's like Slate probably eats like a base 1 to maybe 2 ms. I feel like 1 ms probably, whereas I feel like I think UE4 is maybe like 0.24 which could be anything, but I don't know. I just need a better PC than a 7700K. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, that one's outdated. Yeah, for UE5 I would argue that's outdated. I upgraded my CPU recently and it helped a little bit, going from 8th gen to 12th. Yeah, the default preset in UE5 is also like everything on max. It's not great. Now, isn't what's eating performance is VSM? Yeah, and VSM is enabled by default. So that's what I mean, is you just have to disable some shit and just adjust it a bit. Lumen also eats a little bit of performance as well. Virtual shadow maps. I would argue I fucking, like, the minimal experience I had with virtual shadow maps, I hated it. It's a good PC for developing for potatoes because it forces me to make things fast. Yeah, I get you, man. I get you. I get you. You know, when I hear people using Jai and Odin and they're like, dude, my compile time's like a second. It's like long. And I'm like, what the fuck, motherfucker? I got like 240-second compile times. What do you mean 1 second is long for your compile time, motherfucker? What are you what are you talking about, man? What are you talking about? 1 second being long. Does Lumen nuke performance if you don't have RT cores on your GPU? Lumen will use, so you have two types of Lumen. You have software Lumen and you have hardware Lumen. Hardware Lumen obviously looks better and runs better. But it won't nuke performance, but obviously your GPU will change things for sure. Get a berry. My studio doesn't even have compile times that slow. At my work, we're using like I cannot speak. And again, it's a 14900K with a 4080S at a 65-second compile. I'm starting to think maybe I should just bought 14th gen and ignored like all of the warning signs of CPUs fucking exploding and shit. I'm starting to think, because like I looked at like a benchmark thing for Rust and they like had like 12900 or 12900. I think that's the one I have. 12900K is like really low in comparison to like 14th gen and 13th gen. I just wanted to play it safe. I don't want to deal with like my computer melting or something. Why Intel not AMD? I don't know, dude. I feel like AMD, the community online in terms of AMD feels very culty. It felt very culty and like fanboy-y. I was like, I'd just rather stick with Intel. Here we go again. I don't know. I just kind of, I've never had issues with Intel. I've never had issues with Intel, so I'd rather just fucking go with that. I even bought an AMD CPU, but I was like, you know, I'm gonna just stick with what I like. They're both like that. They are, but AMD feels more culty and it feels more focused on gaming rather than production and, you know, editing and whatnot. It felt much more focused on gaming. Whereas Intel, I feel like, is more focused on production. Intel's a disaster lately. I know. That's why I went with 12th gen. that's why I just went with 12th gen. You buy a CPU based on the community? No. I was trying to read up a lot on AMD, and also AMD using like a lot of power consumption and like heating up and stuff. I'm just not into that. Based on what I've seen is AMD heats up more and whatnot. So yeah. You're thinking of Intel? I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe 13th and 14th gen. My 12th gen definitely, like, the fucking fan is... When it starts doing shit, it fucking spins up. It's kind of scary. I don't like that sound. I would rather downclock my shit than fucking have that. Either way, dude. My computer works. That's what matters. That's what matters. Wait until the NVIDIA 50 series comes out. Now that'll be a mess. That'll be funny to see. That bubble's gonna pop at some point. Them being like 200% increase in performance or whatever the fucking thing. 12th gen is the last one that works. I know. That's why I bought 12th gen. That's why I bought 12th gen. I could have probably bought new gen, but like I've never worked with AMD before. I've never used an AMD CPU. Maybe I could have used one, but I'm okay. My shit's working. That's what matters. I can play Marvel Rivals at 100 FPS. Let's go! I can yell at my screen at 100 FPS. It's pretty fucking pog. Unless like a shit ton of effects come up on screen. Let's lay out some enemies. So we got our first checkpoint here. The 5090 looks cool, at least. You know, it looks cool, even though I literally can't fucking see my computer that has a fucking like glass thing. Although doesn't the 5090 look pretty much like the 4090? Right? That's just the Nvidia one, whereas like you look at like other brands and they're, you know, they're doing shit like this. That's a brick, bro. You could throw that at someone's head and they die. Like I legit, when I had to change my computer, I looked at my GPU and I'm like, this thing's fucking enormous. Why is it so big? It looks pretty sleek. Is this the 50 series? I think so, right? It's very interesting. Is there only one power port? It's also very interesting that it's like on the side and kind of tilted and slanted and shit. That's kind of interesting as well. And it's inset. Very weird, very cool design. Just one port. What's weird is, doesn't this have more power consumption? So how is it that it's only one port if it has that much more power consumption? Don't you need like more ports to like give it more power? Like how do you do that? Higher rated cables. So you just need like a better, like a newer PSU basically. Is that basically the case? You need like a newer PSU? But either way, you're gonna need a newer power PSU with like the amount of fucking power this shit eats. You know what I mean? Like shit's eating like 100 watts more than its predecessor, which is insanity. Newer PSU or adapter cable. Well, the thing is, you can't just have like a newer adapter cable. Some PSUs, like modular PSUs, you have to use the cables that it comes with, right? Otherwise, you fucking bork the shit out of it. Do some work. Hey, I'm working. I am working. I'm streaming. I'm doing the stream thing. I'm streaming here, man. I'm streaming here. I love this song. I'm gonna increase the volume. Yo, this is my jam. YouTube stream. I don't hear anything. Hey, if you want to hear the jams, come to the Twitch stream. I can't do it on YouTube or else I'd get fucking shot. Like literally, I'd get shot. I would get killed. So we checkpoint here. GPU provides the adapter. You didn't get one? I don't know, dude. I don't know where my bag of fucking cables are. I'm even lucky that my computer works right now because I just randomly I had to connect another cable to my motherboard, to the CPU port. I think it was CPU power cable. I had to find one and I was like, okay, this looks close to the Corsair or whatever fucking power supply. This looks close to it. Let's hope it doesn't brick my entire computer. No, I'm still in the 3070 Ti. I'm still in the 3070 Ti. I only got a new CPU, which is the 12900K. I'm not going to buy a new GPU. You fucking kidding me? I just got this new GPU recently. I'm still tax writing it off. It's only the 4090 needs an adapter. So by adapter, do you mean like you plug that shit in and you plug your power supply cable into that one? So it's like a middle middle cable in between? Ah, okay. It's this. Ah, okay. Ah, 3 individual PCIe cables. What the fuck even? Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Makes sense. It makes sense now. Why is there a kukri knife in here? It doesn't make any sense. Brother's treating this shit like it's like the fanciest fucking bottle of wine. That looks crazy though. I'm not gonna lie. That looks nuts. That thing looks, it looks like a spaceship. I always get baffled by computers. You know what I mean? I'm always baffled by like the design and like how we got to this point in technology. You know, like we're very privileged to fucking get to this point in technology. It's insane. How do I have a computer in this tiny fucking device? That's insane to me. Like I always love thinking about that. It's really cool. If game dev fucking goes wrong, I'll go into this. I think this would be cool to go into. Is like learning this shit, but I'm not smart enough for that, let's be honest. Like that's crazy, dude. Like look at the design of that, man. All of it is owned by the most greedy bastards possible. Yeah, welcome to Earth, man. I don't know what to tell you. That's literally like all of Earth. So not just like the look of it, like that's a different thing. I'd argue that's a different thing. I just mean like the inside architecture, like how everything even fucking works, like giving power to it and shit like that. It's crazy. Crazy cool. Comparison with a banana. Dude, that thing's fucking massive. This thing's fucking crazy. It's the size of a PS5. No wonder console gamers never want to get into PC with shit like this, man. I gotta say though, while these designs look cool, of these like, I don't like that logo though. Game Rock, ew. What the fuck is that? What is this like? Ugh. It like looks cool, but I really like the simplicity of the like the default NVIDIA. Like that looks fucking stupid, man. Okay, no, that looks dumb. The Founders Edition just looks really sleek. It just looks so sleek. The other one looked better, albeit I don't really like the colors on the top. I would argue I'm more interested in like black, I think. I think this one looks good on the top. This one looks cool on the side. Who cares about the look? I know. But just looks cool. More surface to accumulate dust? Yeah, damn right. I still appreciate it. Yeah, I can't see it, but I still like designs of stuff, you know? I don't know. Is it bad to just not like the design from an outside perspective? I wonder what the real price is going to be. Yeah, that $600 or $500 price tag, fucking bullshit. That shit's going to be like the 5090 is easily going to probably be like 4K, 5K, like 4K easily. 3 to 4K, not 2K. Like what's the status with like the shortages of like parts and whatnot? And the whole tariff thing is not going to make things any better. Probably 2.5K to 3K. What shortage of parts? Isn't there like a shortage of like fucking, wasn't there like a shortage of like certain parts that were related to like a lot of tech? Or shortage of like copper or something? I don't know what the fuck it was. That ended like 2 years ago. Well, now we're gonna have a shortage of like, now we're gonna have a price increase of everything if the whole if the whole tariff thing happens. If that happens, we're in a new territory of fuckery. The whole what? Tariff thing. Tariff. It was sand? Bro, how do we run out of sand? There's a whole ass desert. We got deserts, man. How the fuck are we running out of sand? Man, what the hell? How the hell are we running out of sand? Just go to the beach. It's that easy, man. Come on. This is why we need games that can run on shitty computers so we don't get screwed by $4,000 graphics cards. The whole sheriff thing? I said tariff. I said tariff. Don't fucking make me seem like a psychopath that can't speak English properly. The video card market looks like almost like a car dealership nowadays. It does. It's actually really true. Put this motherfucker up here. Put a ninja up here. Yeah, or guy with samurai. Or guy with sword. Sheriff or tariff? Tariff. 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 Tarif. T-A-R-R. I think it's 2 R's. No, it's 1 R. I-F-F. 2 F's, I think. Yes. Yeah. How? Kind of hard to get people to move sand when there's a life-threatening disease rampant. Man, what do you mean? Just drive the truck. You just drive the sand. It's not that complicated, man. You don't even have to talk to anyone. You just drive the sand. Me not knowing anything. Bro, just drive the fucking sand. They made the sand gay. How dare they? Tariff. Tariff. It's not tariff, it's tariff. Make a video about it and post it on YouTube. Yeah, like make it like just straight up fucking rage bait. Yeah, hell yeah. Call sand miners garbage. Yeah, these motherfuckers are like the worst. They're the problem. They're part of the problem. No, it's a joke, Ari, with like the whole frog thing. You can't use desert sand for much. It's way too smooth. That's why Dubai imports sand. Oh, right, because there's different thicknesses of sand. I remember now. That's true. What's the point of a fucking desert? Why don't we just tear it down or something, you know? Why don't we just tear that shit down? It's not providing any value to us. It's fucking stupid. Why don't we just build a whole ass city on the desert then? Use up that space. Oh, wait. I'm sure someone understands that reference. Some of the shit that's... I think we should put a checkpoint right here. The line, bat chest. God, what a thing, man. Does the level need a checkpoint so short? Yeah, it's for the newbies, so they don't fucking file a complaint. They don't file a fucking complaint. Let me lower the volume. Okie dokie. Checkpoint uno. Hold on, we need to count. It's time to start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna sneeze. Chais. 1, 2. Where the fuck am I? Wait. 4? What was it? 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. Back in my day, we couldn't save the game. You just died, got mad at the game, and then left. Well, actually, funny enough, that was Suit for Hire, actually. There was no save system. That one enemy in the balcony section is able to get out of there? No. He's stuck there. Forever. That's his job. What's the purpose of it? I don't know. Don't ask me. You're asking the wrong fucking guy. Man. No, don't. Click on it, fucking engine. Ah! What are those TVs for? We're gonna replace them with like ads. Or something. How much per ad? No, I'm gonna make some like minimal shit. Like a minimal product kind of design type thing. This stuff I also have to replace and make it more like minimal and whatnot. Like we could. Huh? Huh. Huh? Oh fuck. What is this? I want to see a video of you walking in your kitchen in real life, going over to your refrigerator and saying, I love refrigerators. I do love refrigerators. Without them, we probably would have died as a society. Yeah, we'd probably be dead or something. I'm sure we would have figured out something, but you can kind of tell the illusion is broken because you can see some of the seams, but let's just assume nobody sees that. See what? Thank you. Good. Can we shoot the TV and kill the ads? What do you think this is? A fucking AAA game?
What do you think this is? Huh?
I was considering adding it to his to-do list. Oh, no, I'm not. Maybe I would, but no. No, no. No. Should we fill up the whole wall? Yo. Yo, that would be kind of hot, though. Oh, that'd be kind of hot, though. It's almost fucking perfect. I'm gonna assume. You know what? It's perfect. Look at that. Yeah! What? Yeah. 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 How about Club 2? How about Club 1? Yo, that kind of fire, though. Literally. Nah, we'll go with this one. I like the minimal look of it. It fits the color theme. It should be easy code. If bullet hit screen, add stop. Yo, you're speaking in tongues. I don't know what the fuck you're saying. What the hell are you saying? Checkpoint overlap. Yes. If overlap, checkpoint overlap, set to 2. Yes. Yeah. What's the point of an overlap? What's the point of a fucking checkpoint here? If the you know, it's just for the game. It's for the non-gamers. Okay, it's for the non-gamers. All right, it's for the non-gamers. Even though the checkpoint is literally right next to the fucking thing, it's for the non-gamers. You gotta understand. Yeah, it is. It's journalist mode. It's journalist mode. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. All right. Okay, so we got a checkpoint there. We got checkpoint 2. And then this is the end. That's because non-gamers would go looking for your indie game. You don't understand the shit I've seen. You don't understand. I've seen people get stuck in level 1. Now, albeit, I think they had a pirated copy of the game, so they can go fuck themselves. But they did get stuck in level 1. So, on that note, skill issue. On that note, skill issue. There's definitely, I think, people that have played my game that are more casual audience. Definitely. How do you get to that balcony? Which one? This one? You don't, okay? You fucking jump over it, okay? Listen, not everything needs to be accessible, okay? God. Jeez. How do you know it was a pirated copy? Old UI, old elements that were fixed very quickly, and because I don't think they updated the pirated copy version. Even today, I don't think they updated it. I think it's like an old build from like 2021 or 2022. Yeah. Well, what can you do? Not much you can do. There's not much you can do. I gave up on that shit. I kept DMCAing them on Google, and then they would just re-pop up. So I'm like, who fucking cares anymore? Whatever. If someone really wants to find a pirated version of the game, they'll find it. They don't need Google to find it. So, oh well. It is what it is. It is what it is. I gave up on fighting that stuff. We have a lot of wasted space with this light map thing, which could be causing some problemos. Whoa. Got some wasted space there. What the fuck? We have giga wasted space there, man. And wasted space here. What the hell? Huh? Aren't you using a UV tile for that? What do you mean? Why am I not using a UV tile for that? These should technically be like combined. Like they can be combined. That's the whole point of this system. Those who crack the game aren't even potential customers. They wouldn't buy the game anyway. I just stopped trying to give it any reason. You know what I mean? Because it's like maybe there are, you know, there's people that have said, "Oh, I cracked the game to kind of try it out," right? There are people that have said that. Which, you know, maybe that's true. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I think it's probably partially copium for some people. Maybe they just use it as an excuse. I don't know. At this point, as a developer, trying to fight that war on piracy is just not worthwhile. Make a demo build? Right. So that's the thing that I could potentially do, is just make a demo build. And that could be solution to the problem. But yeah, yeah, I gave up on that real quick. Just it's a waste of energy. Even if you eliminated all the pirated copies, it's not like they're gonna buy it anyway. I wouldn't even. For me, I was just DMCAing the Google stuff, so it didn't show up in Google search. But that was like a losing battle. I wasn't even trying to take down like the downloads, because there's no point of doing that. Like, they're not gonna listen to you. They don't give a shit. The website does not care about you. You'd have to go to the host of the website, who is probably hosted in like some other random country, and they probably don't give a fuck. So I just, it's just not worth it. I don't think it is a worthwhile attempt of even trying to fix that. You know what I mean? But yeah, should I just let it happen? It's just funny when someone comes in the Discord and they're like, "We have this bug." It's like, motherfucker, that was fixed 3 years ago. Motherfucker, that was fixed 3 years ago. Like, what do you mean we have this bug? Nah, man, you're pirated. Maybe you maybe ask the person that pirated the project to fucking fix it. Oh shit, we got a wasted wall here. That's a big waste. That's a doozy right there. Can you fix it in our pirated copy? Bro, at this point, I just want the person that pirated the fucking thing to like just release an updated version. Just, bro, please. Did you refund the game after pirating it and then like uploading it? Like, come on, bro. Please, don't make me do it. I'll fucking do it, man. I'll do it myself. Y'all motherfuckers lazy. How many years of development are in this game? Too many, man. Too many. Too fucking many. Too many. 4. 4. Yeah, I know. 4. Yeah, 4. Oh, wait, shit. $4 years, eh? I'm making sure that I didn't fuck up because I'm like placing enemies and also like fixing up some of the environment a little bit into the hoopla. Upload a version that randomly plays a jump scare. Dude, that'd be great. That'd be great. Every time you die. It's like part of the... They think it's part of the game. They think it's part of the game. They buy the game, write a review on Steam. Game's too scary. Random jump scare, not good. And then it's like... They write a review based on their experience of using the pirated version. Imagine, dude.
It's all this wasted space here.
The pirated version becomes a cult classic. Dude, that'd be great. Now that's good marketing right there. That's good ass marketing right there. That's some good ass marketing. There have been devs that have uploaded their own pirated version of the game just to make sure to fix problems to avoid all the negative reviews. I don't doubt it. I don't fucking doubt it. I don't fucking doubt it. I do not doubt it. You know, if you can't beat them, join them. You know what I mean? If you can't beat them, join them. That seems insane. It's not, though. Like, you know, as an indie dev, that if you were to put DRM in your game, it would just do more harm than good. So at that point, you know that you're going to have people pirating your game no matter what, right? So the best solution to the problem is ultimately just be the one that provides it at that point. I think releasing a demo is a bit better because then at least it's a more legitimate, like, you know, if a person wants to try the game, like, I think a demo is a pretty good, like, thing for the person to try. You know what I mean? Everybody looking at me fucking placing the shit manually and being like, ah, fucking tearing their hair out. Yeah. Do you go to Pirate Bay and upload this shit directly? I don't think anybody uses Pirate Bay. It's like websites like, I don't even fucking know what they're called, bro. I legit don't even know what they're called. There's one that's like Girl Boss or some shit. I don't even know what it's called. Girl something. Some girl. Rose Girl. What about releasing a pirated version with a virus in it? That just opens up a whole new can of worms that... I say that as a joke to do that, but... doing that will open you up to a whole new world of problems, like legal things. Oh yeah, Game Dev Tycoon. Yeah, they made it so it's like your game starts getting pirated, and then you like your company dies because your game just keeps getting pirated. It's really funny. Yeah, it's just not worth doing that. Hey, spread some malware. Hell yeah. Woo! It's just, yeah, I think you end up just opening up a can of worms that you probably don't want to open up. But trust me, I did have the idea as like a funny, as a joke. I said it on stream one time, but I do not recommend doing it. Yeah, you will 100% just end up, like, 4chan will probably end up on your ass. Like, knowing 4chan. They will probably end up on your ass, and you end up in... you might not even end up in legal trouble, but you'll definitely end up in a level of trouble. So definitely not worth it. I wonder instead of TV ads if we just reuse this, but maybe we put it over here. Guys, it's not the Z. It's the Y. It was never the Z. It is the Y. Get a fake door up in here. Hey. Hey, come here. What the fuck? It's just a door. I know that's what I asked for, but like, yeah, get a fake door up in We're in business. Also, you don't have to add viruses. The pirated versions already most likely have them. Some of them most likely definitely have something in them, without a doubt. But there's some websites that are probably legitimate to an extent. I bet you there's probably a pirating website that's really popular that like throws fucking, without people knowing, a little bit of a crypto miner in there, you know? A little subtle crypto miner. You get enough people downloading it and you start farming. You know what I mean? Start farming a little bit. I am yet again working in the wrong level. At some point, our music streaming service, we wanted not to block pirates, but detect them. It makes to a track at a very low volume, barely heard phrase. You. That's pretty damn good, I gotta say. That's pretty good right there. You should just make it like do that, but make it so the mix is so horrible and like almost 360. Make that shit like super compressed. I don't like the look of that. It makes it look cheap. It's like a really huge fucking bezel. There was an actual virus game company made to add to pirated versions of their games. They would upload to pirate sites. They would get antivirus companies to make an exception so people struggled to remove it. They don't do it anymore because they think it's illegal, but they did do it in the past. Yeah, that shit's illegal now, which is like, it's funny because it's like you're trying to fight piracy, which in and of itself is illegal, but now you can't because the other thing is illegal by spreading malware. So it's like I guess. Whoa. But yeah, no, I wouldn't do it just because I think you'd end up just getting into a whole different problem. I feel like. It's like poisoning your lunch when you know it should be stolen. Right. I guess it's something a bit like that, like a little bit like that. Yeah. It's like weird. It's fighting crime with crime. Yeah, it's like being a fucking anti-hero. Like being a vigilante. The game pirate vigilante. I'm Batman, but for video games. Pennant, thanks for the raid. How's it going? Howdy do, howdy do, howdy do. Welcome, welcome to the stream. We're, I don't know what we're doing. Don't even ask. I don't even know anymore at this point. We're trying to finish this level. We're almost there. We're almost there. Almost there. Getting there. I am finishing this level. I'm finishing it today. It's gonna be fucking Pog. I'm very close to finish too. This shit's getting there. We must stop the vigilantes with more crime. Maybe that's why they put the law like that. Just to stop like an increasing cycle of pain. Checkpoint 2? I think so. We can have a stun baton enemy over here. Put him on a patrol path. Was doing some 3D model, then Baldur's Gate. So far is looking good. How's the third person view going? It is going pretty well. We have like a couple things I'd like to fix with it to really make it like 1.0 ready. But it's getting there. It's basically like, I want to say like 90% of the way there. It's just that last 10%. You know what I mean? It's the last 10%. But hell yeah. What'd you 3D model, if you don't mind me asking? If you ain't too busy, I imagine you might need to head out or something. I haven't done any like 3D modeling, like real 3D modeling in a while. Well, that's not true. I guess we modeled some of the weapons for the game, so I guess we still are keeping up with some of that stuff, but not to the degree that I usually would do for a lot of modeling in this game. Okay, so we need to count. Character. We have 32 enemies in the scene. 7, 14, 21, 28. 28. We want 35 enemies. So we want to add 3 more enemies to have a perfect 7. Perfect 7. So we're going to maybe slap a merc right here. Probably add a grunt here, but make him face this way, almost like he's leaning on the thing. Yeah. Modeling a knife, just practicing subdivision modeling while following a tutorial. Hey, hell yeah, Pennant. Some of my videos kind of go through that stuff, so if you ever like need some help with like the workflow stuff, definitely, or even shoot me a message if you need. Gotta get something to eat, maybe be back later. Hey, sounds good, Pennant. Yeah, enjoy the food, man. I get it. Did I ever have an issue finishing game projects, or was it no issue when you first started? Dude, I had the same problem everybody else has. If not, I still have that problem. You know, Punky, I think it is a problem that everyone has to an extent, and it's just kind of finding your way around it and figuring out what works for you. I think I'm a lot better at it now, I think. Dude, I don't know. I've been working on this game for 4 years. So, mind you, I've been working on this game for 4 years. I've been doing game development for 4 years, or 8 years. So half of my career I've spent working on this. Half of my career I've spent working on this. So who knows? I could still be struggling with the aspect of finishing a project. I just, you know, I've just been working on this for so long that you know, who knows, right? You know what I mean? What do you do about it? Like, what do you do about what? Like, not finishing a project? Yeah. It's a person-to-person thing, I would argue. I don't think there is a one-size-fits-all. I would say one of the big things is setting due dates, setting timelines, and being strict to that, and then adjusting your scope according to that. I would say that's a big one. I would say that that's a big one that really will make you think about your project in a different way, rather than treating it as an infinite. Time is not an infinite resource, so I think that's something you have to think about when planning your project and whatnot. And by having that factor, you start thinking, okay, what things do I need to get done at what time, you know, etc., etc. But it's also like, what is your intention? What's your intention with making a game? Do you just want to have fun making games and use it as a hobby? That's perfectly fine. You don't need a time limit then. If you want to do it like what I do, which is making it a business while still being able to enjoy doing what I do, then yeah, you would look at it that way. But the intention, I think, is also important. I think that's a really important question to ask yourself. Is like, what is your intention with game development? What do you want to do with it? You know what I mean? I think that's an important question as well. You just want to fuck around with stuff? Just fuck around with stuff. You don't need a time limit. Technically, you don't even need to finish projects. You know what I mean? Like, how many enemies are at? 34. We need one more enemy. I'm thinking a good one up here could be an elite enemy. It would be cool having them walk up and down the stairs. That could be kind of sick. Actually, our player starts here, so maybe not. I'd love to make it a business. Most projects I tend to ditch once it gets to a point where it becomes too difficult. So I'm focusing on just making a smaller game to learn from. Yeah, I think it gets... you do need to kind of... If it's in the intention of starting a business, you do have to work with like smaller scoped projects, especially when starting out, and kind of work your way up. But I would still try to work on something that's worthwhile, that you get a big return from in terms of not financially, but from like learning from it, right? Like you want people to play your game. You don't want to just release something just to release something. I don't agree with that concept of, oh, just release a bunch of games. I don't agree with that. I agree with release something worthwhile. I would rather release something in 6 months that will get me actual player base trying my game and giving me feedback and stuff like that, and then I can learn from that, than releasing 6 shitty 1-month projects. Personally, I would rather doing the former rather than the latter, for me personally. Everyone, like I said, everyone's gonna function in different ways and whatnot. I'd rather work on, or even work on 2 games that are 3-month projects, because you probably be able to get a lot more out of it. I don't know. I think the idea of working on a 1-month project, the idea is like sprinting. You're doing sprints. You're probably trying out game design to see what sticks. And if something sticks, then maybe you expand upon it, perhaps. Yeah. He says after Suit for Hire has taken how long? Yeah, no. Listen, Suit for Hire has taken way longer than it should have. A, because I'm lazy and I procrastinate a lot. B, because I've had contract work kind of getting in the way as well. It shouldn't have taken as long as it did. But at the end of the day, I still learned a lot from it, and I'm still learning. And while I may have wasted quite a bit of time and probably could be working on something different right now, I think at the end of the day, I learned a lot as a developer. I've grown, and I'll be able to take all of that knowledge towards the next thing, whatever the next thing might be. What if it stinks and not sticks? Then you just move on to the next thing. I think there's quite a few developers that do that. They literally just make really quick games and then they see what sticks. But personally, I don't know. I'm not into that. I like working on stuff, like big stuff, because I think for me, I look at it from a like kind of a YouTube aspect. I really like that aspect of doing content creation and creating a development story behind it and whatever the fuck. I don't know. Like for me, I I think I enjoyed that, and I haven't done it in a while. And I think maybe that's what makes me feel so slow, is that I haven't done the YouTube stuff as well. So let's try this out. We got all the enemies in. We got 35 enemies in. Chock-a-block. Surely you've learned about releasing a game. Oh yeah, that's what I mean by releasing a game. Fuck. Players too far away. Okay, we need to fix that. Players too far away. Oh, there it is. Won't initialize enemy. Okay, gotcha. Is controller support already there? 99%. There's some little caveats that I need to fix. But yes, no, that's what I mean. Like, releasing a game, you learn a lot more. If you're going into the business side, you're going to learn more about it than just the dev side. You're going to learn releasing a game, maintaining a game, all that kind of stuff. I think is huge, and you learn a lot of that by releasing a game. That's what I mean is by sticking with something in 6 months rather than 1 month, you learn a lot more about the marketing side. You learn a lot more about branding, all that kind of stuff. The business side of things, in my opinion. Oh, he can see us through the window? That does make sense. Oh, that's fucked. Only Xbox or PS4/PS5. I think with the Steam stuff, you might be able to use the PlayStation controllers. I'm not sure. I do think one of your problems, at least with your own projects, is planning the project. I don't think it's planning the project. It is planning my time and work-life balance. So then I balance out my life with work. I think that's the problem. It's more of a personal problem rather than project planning. I think I've been able to like, you know, it was a problem, but I think I've been able to improve upon that a lot. And I think people have noticed that as the updates went on, I kind of got better at it. Did you know that the Valheim guys said that they accidentally priced their game wrong, like too low, which must be a factor in its success? Maybe. We wouldn't know. You know, the only way to know any of that is by fucking going back in time. Oh, there's no nav mesh in here. Okay, let's fix that. Guys. Be nice to show PS4 buttons, though. I'm not even going to bother with PlayStation buttons because they copyright that shit and they're assholes about it. So, fuck that. I'm not even going to deal with that. I am not dealing with that. Like, maybe I could put it in. The thing is, I don't even know if there's a way to detect if the player is using a PlayStation button. So I just have to put it in the settings menu. I can, but I kind of just don't want to deal with the legalities involved when it comes to PlayStation right now. Hey, move here. I think Valheim is successful because it's a fun game. That's the thing. That's why I say I don't like those courses or those people that make courses that say this is the key to success. I don't agree with those videos because we don't know necessarily what are the keys to success. We can come up with a bunch of theoretical stuff like, oh, the price of the game heavily impacts the potential that the game has and blah, blah, blah. And we come up with all these different business theories as to why those elements are this and that and blah, blah, blah and whatever. I don't think there is necessarily you can come up with as many like business theories as possible, right? And there are elements where it's like maybe the price does make a big impact. It makes the game more accessible, which then makes it, you know, especially with a co-op game, that means more players and friends can join you, right? Like you can come up with a bunch of theories for it, right? Yeah, like a business analyst, like, right, Punky. I don't like those at all because there is no in my opinion, there is no formula. Like we've seen time and time again where people are like, this is the formula, these are the games that you should make, but then a game comes out and it fucking blows everything up, but it's like the genre we never thought would actually be a thing that would come up. Like, for example, Slay the Spire, a fucking card game, a deck building card game, roguelite, sold like fucking crazy in a genre where we thought that cards were such a like niche kind of thing, but in reality you can do such a good, like a big thing with it. You know what I mean? Like Balatro, also a really good example. Poker, but like on steroids. So there's no formula. I think I think it's like when you work on a game, it just fucking clicks. You're like, this works, you know? And sometimes you don't even know what's making it fucking work. What's this song called? I think it's a remix. Or Tell Me Why Radio Edit by Supermode, Axwell, and Steve Angelo. Angelo. Why are you using multiple nav meshes, not just one with nav invokers? I just use one so it avoids like nav meshes going in spots where I don't want it to. In this level though, I think we designed it in a relatively good way where it wouldn't happen. But if I used one and it encompasses the entire area, these top props would have navigation on them, and it's just kind of like a waste. So also nav invokers, if I'm thinking of the right thing that I'm thinking about, nav invokers are a bit expensive, so I'd rather just use static navigation. Wait, why am I playing with God mode? That's silly of me. I should be testing this properly. Forgot to dodge. What are nav invokers? Nav invokers you can place on an actor, and if I remember correctly, it dynamically generates the navigation around. You should probably use that more for like dynamic games, not for like dynamic world games, whereas static one-time navigation is a lot cheaper. If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure that's what a nav invoker is. We used to use nav invokers. It ate like 3 MS. I missed. Ah! Hey, that guy's a bit hard to hit. I don't know why I can't hit that guy. That actually kind of sucks. I'm gonna have to compensate for that. Wasn't there a guy right here? Oh. Oh, okay. We missed the navigation right there. That's kind of funny. Oh, wait, shit. I accidentally started recording. Stop recording. So here, not happy with some of the hearing ranges of some of these enemies because it kind of broke some of our point-to-point engagement kind of structure that we have. So here's what we're gonna do. We need to fix the navigation on that one dude. Which I believe was this guy right here. But additionally, I'm not a huge fan of the fact that we can't hit them because I guess it's too high up. So I'm going to move him closer in. I'm going to move this guy here. This guy's as well. We can't hit him, so I'm going to move him here. These guys, I'm going to change their hearing range because they hear us from too far away, and then they end up kind of breaking up the division of engagements that I want to keep. So, hearing range, noise. Dude, what the fuck is the parameter for these guys? I don't remember what we called the parameter. Aggro path length. Let's set these to 1500. Okay. What's going on in chat? Those games that I absolutely would choose gamepad over mouse and keyboard. Gamepads are great, man. For specific games, there's some really good ones. I'd argue Souls-like games, there's a half and half. Like some people really like playing with controller, albeit the history of Souls games, they kind of sucked with mouse and keyboard. So it makes sense why there's a big subset of people that play that with a controller. Yeah, racing games does not make sense with mouse and keyboard unless you're playing like Trackmania. There's a lot of people that have converted to PC gaming from console and they still like to use controller. So it's like it's something to think about. As a game developer, you kind of have to think about it. If you don't put controller support in your game, you're like losing out on a huge like potential driving force. Like there's so many Steam reviews I see where they're like no controller support. Those people are objectively wrong. All right, well, sure, I guess. Cool. Okay, that fixed that, I believe. Those problems are solved. Although when you get to this checkpoint, I did notice there is not 14 enemies. There's like 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, exactly 9. Kind of weird number, because then you don't get a perfect 7 streak. We'd have to add 5 enemies there. I don't know how we'd go about doing that. So I think we'll just leave it as is. Let's go ahead and build lighting, because I was noticing I was getting some fucking performance hits. Need to make sure that everything in here is right. Didn't accidentally add an enemy where I shouldn't have. I don't know. Is there a skybox in this level? There's not. Let's go ahead and add one. Or third person. Yeah, close enough, I guess. Yeah, close enough, I suppose. Then we'll add a tag to this. 3 pp visible. And then hidden in-game. Controller support is there on PC and Steam Deck. Yeah, I would like for my game. Yeah, we have controller support. I would recommend if as a developer, I would recommend implementing controller support in your games. And also Steam Deck, if you can, because there's such a huge there's a big community now of Steam Deck users, and it's only going to keep growing as time goes on, and especially for SteamOS as SteamOS grows as well. Your game looks like it's much better for mouse and keyboard. I recommend to people to play it in mouse and keyboard because it's just, you know, it's designed for it. But I do my best to make the controller feel good as well. Like, right? So I try to my best to make both feel good. Controls remapping is also big. Yes, I wouldn't ignore that. That's why I always recommend to people use auto settings. Auto settings kind of solves that a little bit for you. I don't know if it does that for UE5. That's my only... because UE5 has a different input system. I have no clue what remapping is like for UE5's input menu stuff, input stuff. I have a question. A top-down 3D shooter, bullets should move horizontally from the muzzle transform, right? Yes. I have some weapons on shoulder like rocket launcher and some from the hip. Should I just make the enemies big? Rocket launcher and some from the hip. Should I just make the enemies bigger? Okay, that's a tough one. Rocket launcher is a tough one because in theory, when you use a rocket launcher in a game, you don't want to shoot it directly at the enemy. You're like usually shooting it at the ground. So you might need, in my case, for our game, in top down, we have a light like aim assist. So for one, when there's verticality, but also if you are aiming, in some cases, let me get a cube. We have a system that is constantly line tracing forward for enemies, but it's also checking every like section or body part for them. So in this case, because we're shooting from the hip, this would miss. But because we have a system that also traces for like a bunch of parts of the body, so we trace here, 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 and the feet as well, just in case. So if like the case was like this, we can still hit the enemy. We're like constantly doing traces. So we're like, even on mouse and keyboard, we're also doing a little bit of an aim assist that the player might notice, but it improves things. You probably would want to do some sort of aim assist system for rocket launchers, I would say. It depends how you're doing your aiming, right? It depends on how you're doing your aiming. Yeah, definitely a tough one. Yeah, definitely a tough one. Would you create to create the skin color selector to have like a HUD color selector, and maybe a system like that would work? Just being too lazy to Google it. I can go through it with you. We use it's a curve. It's a color curve, right? It's a color curve going through the skin tones that then gets put into a curve atlas so that we can then send this information to a material that can then be read to the user interface. So it's of type material domain user interface, and then it's just a like program. It's just a slider bar in the UI. That's basically it. And then in the slider bar, we just check if you're 0 to 1, and then we just read the value of the curve, and that gives us the color value. That's basically it. And the curve is a linear color. Yeah. Okay, it's time to build lighting so that we can start finalizing this shit. Proper ad/TVs. I'm just gonna. Yeah, it's not done yet. Proper do not there yet. Cache walls. Yeah, we don't have that. Layout enemies. Yes. Layout endpoint. We do not have that. Layout weapons. We do not have that. Okay. We're like almost done. I might even consider this done, basically. Like we have some environment details we want to add in, but not a priority. We just need to put the endpoint and some of the weapons, and then hell yeah. Yes. Almost there. Is there an opera house level? No. we call it Sydney, but in reality, this is like Mirror's Edge inspired levels. It's just basically like a different theme. It's not like really Sydney. We got a level called Chock-a-Block because, you know, Australian. Got to put in some influence there. It's more like just a style, I guess, rather than being like an actual influence. Yeah, fair dinkum, eh? Bob's your uncle. Why are we like changing the conversations to just fucking Linux and shit? What's going on? What happened? There's yapping about Linux and shit. Nerds. Hey, quick question. I see you using visual scripting. Is everything possible with visual scripting? I think if I use that, am I gonna hit a block that's not possible with Visual Studio? If I use that, am I gonna with visual scripting? There are certain things you might not be able to do in Blueprint that are like hyper specific, but like you'll probably be able to do like a lot of your game with visual scripting. It depends to like how big of a game you want to do. If you want to make an MMO, then maybe visual scripting might not be the best thing to use. However, if you're asking the question if you should use visual scripting and you want to make an MMO, maybe there's a problem. There might be a bit of a conflict, right? But you can use visual scripting for a lot, if not most of a game. Like 98% of our game is in Blueprint. Yeah. And honestly, the other 2% of C++ is probably doable without C++. Get with the program, Krim. This is our stream now. What the hell, man? What the hell? No, I'm never going to Linux. Although I don't really like Windows. Windows is really really losing they're really losing me. What am I doing in C++? Some like heavy calculation stuff, which honestly isn't even that heavy. Some things that you can't do in Blueprint, such as, which I don't even think works anymore for some reason. I think it's because of a Windows update that broke it somehow. Some things like being able to play or select when the audio plays in the background if like the game is not in focus anymore. But I think that somehow broke, and I think the game is always in focus no matter what. I think it has something to do with windowed mode versus something fucked up with either Windows side or my GPU settings, where full screen windowed and full screen are just the same thing. Like it always sets itself as one of them for some reason, even though I didn't change anything. So might be just a me thing. I have no idea. But yeah, that's one example. And it's really weird because in C++, that is literally just a function call. And it's built in, but for some reason it's just not built into Blueprint for some reason. Being able to set audio playing in the background. Does the full screen windowed function the same in DX12? I don't know, but technically the game is in DX11, I'm pretty sure. pretty sure the game's in DX11. I don't think it's in DX12. I could be wrong. I'm not a graphics programmer. I know UE5 runs in DX12. Pretty sure by default, right? I think so. I think it runs default DX12. I don't remember. Graphics programming mentioned. Okay, we need an end point. The end chapter overlap. Actually, we'll make it an end chapter button that you have to press. Which I believe has a UI element. It doesn't.
What? What?
Directional arrow mesh. Sick. Sick. Booyah. All right. I have to build the lighting? Why? Because this thing's casting shadows? No. Good. Very good. All right. End point. Done. Layout weapons. Who fucking cares? We could do that later. 1 out of 18. Yeah! Yeah! Dude, that 1 out of 18 is going to become 4 out of 18 quick. Look, we have this one in Detail Pass. We got Oxtail in Detail Pass. We got Dragon's Breath in Detail Pass. We got Rush B in Detail Pass. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, motherfucker. It Flipside's also, I think, basically in Detail Pass. 6. 6. Sex. Say the things. You're gonna have to pay me. No, I don't do a good Duke Nukem. I'm not a good Duke voice. You didn't finish entirely. Don't change it to 1 out of 18. These are just like little fucking nice to haves. To be honest, they're not like integral. Like the glass, for example, I would argue is integral because it's like a cool thing. Doors. The door wall mesh things are not like 100% needed. It's just a detail thing. The proper ads and TVs, honestly, like this is more than enough. I don't think I need to go out of my way to make a fucking cool emissive TV thing. We could perhaps change some of the shits in here, but who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? You know what? Who gives a fuck? I'm gonna go as far as say done. Who cares? I do need to cache some of these walls though. So I built the lighting, but they're gonna end up fucking breaking. So like that's just a case of me fixing this tool because I don't want to go in here and fucking fix all this shit manually. Make the TV thing. You can't fucking tell me what to do. You can't tell me what to do. I'm my own boss. Now, here's one thing we can do. Take a look at the light maps. Honestly, it's fucking fine. Let's just fix these flowers. Because fucking Cinti assets. Let me guess, it's 256? No, it's 64. Why? 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 Why is it so heavy? Doesn't need to be that heavy. Bro. I hate Cinti assets. They fucking suck. You can't tell me otherwise. They fucking just, they blow. They just blow. They blow ass. They blow real ass. Bro, there's an air vent here? Damn. We could probably put those details, everybody. Yeah, everybody, everyone else. I can't fucking speak. I have a speech impediment. Yeah, I like that. Brother, that's going the wrong way. Cinti should be on the bingo board. They don't deserve to be on the bingo board. Fuck them. Fuck them. They don't deserve to be on the bingo board. Yeah. I like these details. Yeah. These are the little final details that just add that little bit of spice. I like that waterfall feature. Yeah. Pretty cool, eh? I'm in the wrong level. Ah! Guys. Why is the light so fucking bright? Oh. Because it's so close to the wall. Let's lower the intensity of it, just so this wall doesn't look so damn bright. Nice. Wait, hold on. The camera doesn't even see that detail. Fuck, not nice. It literally does not see that detail. It looks like... I'm stupid. Third person will? Yeah. Well, they see everything. All the fuck-ups. Everything. Everything. Everything wrong. And everything right. Delete this table. In fact, delete this plant. Yep. Yeah, I said it. Delete the plant. Yep. This pipe is... Yep. It's touching the wall. Okay. I had a moment. It is also apparently connected to the vending machine. Apparently. I don't know what they're... I think they're like fucking tube feeding like Coke in there. I don't know. I don't know how vending machines work. Bit of a weird situation there. I'd argue this plant's also in a bad spot. Okay, very nice, very nice. Is it touching the ground? It is touching the ground. Very nice. It is delicious. Very delicious. Very nice. A bit of a fucking mess in here, eh? Part of the cooling system for the vending machine? Or are they just like feeding fucking... What is it? What's that thing that's like really cold? They're feeding liquid ice. Liquid ice. Yeah, liquid ice. What's that thing called? They like used it on computers. What am I thinking of? Refrigerant. No, motherfucker. It's not nitrogen. Is it nitrogen? No, it's not nitrogen. Water. God, fucking... Bro. Is it nitrogen? Liquid nitrogen? Is it nitrogen? Is that what it is? In my head, I was thinking nitrogen. I'm like, that's not right. Water, air. Is it liquid oxygen? Is it actually that? Liquid oxygen. I guess it is liquid oxygen. Or liquid nitrogen. I get either one, I suppose. They both look the same to me. Or dry ice. Yeah, dry ice as well. Listen, man, who cares about this? Now, we need to look at this and select the things that are incorrect that are not meant to be in here. Because I accidentally placed them in here. Very good. Okay. We build the lighting again. Build the lighting again. What's this video? I have it muted. You guys don't hear it. I don't hear it. Jeez. Yo, how much can we push this computer, bro? Yo, let's overclock the fuck out of it. Yo. So stupid. Why do I find that so silly? Why do I find that so silly? It's just kind of silly to me. They're like not even doing anything on the computer. It's literally, they're in the fucking desktop and not doing anything. My computer froze. Okay, we're fine. Mr. Freeze's gaming PC. Everybody chill. I've never actually seen the movies with Mr. Freeze, who I think it was Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? I think he was playing Mr. Freeze, at least at some point, right? Or am I thinking of something different? I'm probably thinking of something different. Those are great. I never watched them. What was that? Batman? Is it Batman? The old Batman movies? Batman and Robin. That's what it was. I never watched them. I never I never watched them. Hold on, I'm reading my work messages if I have any. Okay, we're good. I'm not fired, guys. Pog, yes! Not fired! Jim Carrey. I should watch that just for Jim Carrey. And Arnold as the Freeze. Or Mr. Freeze, Dr. Freeze. Danny DeVito should have been Batman. You know what? That I agree with. Finally, someone with some good takes. For those wondering, yes, we are building lighting. Yeah, crazy, I know. Games industry comment, fuck yeah, did not get fired today. Hell yeah, I am employed. Such a sad state of the industry, dude. Such a sad state. 80%. We're at 80% build. Oh, dude, I got pizza left over. Yes. 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 Fuck yeah. Dude, yeah. I'm so ready. Anybody heard of trichotillomania? Yo, trichotillomania, my balls. What's that? Was that pizza DoorDash? No, I went to the grocery store. No, the fear of holes is that's trypophenia, tripomania, tripo. Phobia. There you go. Trypophobia. That's the one. Not trichotillomania. Trichotillomania. I don't know what that is. Why you ask, Rain B? Did you see something on fucking WebMD or something about trichotillomania? Whatever that is. Also known as hair pulling disorder, compulsive hair pulling is a mental disorder characterized by a long-term urge that results in the pulling of one's own hair. Square bracket open 2, square bracket close, square bracket open 4, square bracket close. A brief positive feeling may occur as hair is removed. Square bracket open 5, square bracket close. Efforts to stop pulling hair typically fail. A hair removal may occur anywhere. However, the head and around the eyes are most common. The hair pulling is to such a degree that it results in distress and hair loss can be seen. I can see it being quite good feeling, but maybe not pulling out all my hair. A bald man would not suffer this. Yeah, just go bald. Fucking bald your entire head. Kablamo. Fucking problem solved, man. You have a hair pulling disorder. Well, doc, get the fucking razor, man. Does anybody else's hair just fall off? Is that just like normal? Like when you take a shower, like you get like a bunch of hair in your hand when you're like cleaning your fucking hair. Is that normal? Just realized that's the reason why I'm not biting my nails for a long time. Is because you're pulling your hair out instead. I bite my nails a lot. I just bite my nails. I had a moment in time where I was not doing it. I was like really, yeah. My head hurts, man. I don't know. It's time to go bald, bro. I think it's time. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not a doctor, but like I think it's time to go bald. It's time to go bald. I bite my nails. I had a moment in time where I was doing a really good job of like not biting them and being very like being mindful of it. I should try to get back to doing that because my nails look gross, dude. My nails look fucking gross. All right, we built the lighting. This level's fucking done, dude. Wait, well, not really. We need a description. It needs a description and it needs challenges. However, I will consider like the big brunt of the problem to be good to go. I have the nail stuff that makes you stop biting them. Starting to not mind the taste. Yeah, that shit doesn't work, I feel like. You got to put some like toxic, but then you're still going to bite through them. I also have a thing where I don't just... I know this is kind of gross, so, you know, you can mute if you want to. Sometimes I don't just bite my nails. I bite like the skin around the nails. Like the slight extra skin around. It's not good. It's pretty bad. It's a bad habit. It's satisfying. Yeah, I don't know if I'd say satisfying. It's just, I think it's just a stress. It's an outlet of stress that I'm using this instead of, because there's moments where you bite so much skin to the point where you bite beyond the skin. Yeah, you go overboard, and then it like now you have this fucking spot that sucks balls. Not great. Yeah. Jacking it is best for stress. That also has its own problems. That also has its own problems. Somehow stopped. I think you over time there's time where I noticed when I was like visiting a different country, I would stop biting my nails because I think like there's this feeling where it's like I don't know where to put the nail. So it's like I don't want to go to a garbage, so I just don't bite them for that period of time and then they grow out. But dude, the annoying thing with nails is like for me, if I don't bite my nails, I have to cut them like every fucking week, and it's so annoying. Like, yeah, I know it's a fucking me problem. Okay, I get it. That sounds like a you problem. Yeah, I know it is. Okay, motherfucker. I never said it wasn't. I never said it wasn't. I don't feel very stressed. You'll probably see a therapist. No, I definitely have a stress problem, and I think it stems from my parents. I definitely got it from my parents, dude. Like, it was really weird for that period of time for like a month or two where I wasn't biting my nails and I had to like use a nail clipper. It was like not a thing I've ever done in my life. It was so weird using a nail clipper. Like for me, like obviously I cut my toenails, but like fingernails, I've never used like the small nail clipper. Yeah. Rip out your nails will solve the nail problem for longer. Anyways. He bites his toenails? No, I am not XQC, okay? The fact he does that on stream is the most disgusting shit I think like I've ever ugh. Maybe when I was like fucking 10 years old or 9 years old, maybe I bit my toenails, but not I'm an adult now, okay? I'm an adult now, all right? I don't do that. Shit's gross. Wait, you don't bite your toenails? Toenail biting is just part of the brand? It's so fucking gross, bro. It's so gross. What's next? He's gonna pick his nose on stream and fucking like rub it underneath like his desk or something? Look at this guy above eating a little toenail. Sorry, man, it's not a part of my fucking delicacy. It's not a part of my like fucking taste palette to eat my toenails, okay? Sorry. Yo, I'm so done with this level. It's so fucking pog. I feel like toenail eating is worse. I don't know if I'd say it's worse. It's gross, but I don't know if I'd say it's worse because you do a lot with your hands. I don't go outside that much, so like it's probably okay. But if you go out and do things and then don't wash your hands and I don't bite my nails when I'm out in public. It is only when I'm at home, so I feel like my hands are like cleaner. Because like when I'm outside, I'm doing things. But you got a lot of shit under your nails, man. Guy says he's hungry all the time, but won't gobble up his unused toenails. Motherfucker, I am not like eating the nails that I bite. Okay, I'm fucking spitting them out. What do you mean? I have a problem where I insist on using a knife to cut my nails. Then I cut too much on one side, and so I try to correct it. Dude, just fucking use a nail clipper. What are you doing? Here's the thing, though. Little tip: do not clip your toenails too much, or your nails too much. I dealt with. All it took was one fuck up, and then I got an infection, and then my toenail split. My toenail split, and it took years before that split completely just grew out, and then my nail was back to normal, albeit with a slight little bump on it now. I know, random thing for me to say, but don't clip your nails too short. Because you'll get an infection, and then your nail will be fucked. And maybe you get bad RNG, and now you have, what's that thing called? Where your, like, nail starts growing in the wrong direction? And then now it's, like, growing into your skin. Overgrown nail? Ingrown, that's what it was. Ingrown nail. I'm lucky that that didn't happen. That's no fun. Tip of the day from game developer. You're welcome, guys. You're welcome. I come here for the best tips, not game dev related, but other weird tips, I guess. You know, it's so funny because you see those videos of people being like, oh, here's my daily schedule of shit I do. And it's like, I wake up at 8 a.m. and then I make a coffee and I sit outside for an hour and fucking ponder about life. And then I check my email. Motherfucker, nah, man, I wake up at like 12 for 1. I wake up at like 11 or 10 or 12, and then I stay in bed for like an hour or two, look at my phone and read stupid shit. And then I wake up. I at some point think, okay, it's time to get up. And then I get up. I fucking open whatever. I put on some pants and shit. And then I make a coffee, and then I go straight to my computer. Like that's a real life fucking scenario. Not I wake up at 7 a.m. I fucking take a jog outside for 15 kilometers. Then I get back and I make myself a vegetable smoothie. Like, what the hell is this bullshit? Nobody fucking does that. That's fake. That's fake as fuck. However, if you did get your life in that order, hey, respect. When in the day do I eat my toenails? You need to for the game dev vlogs? Why is there 3 unbuilt objects? I didn't even fucking change. Oh, I think it was these walls. How the hell did I manage to score a girlfriend? Honestly, I ask myself that same question every day. I'm probably on thin ice, honestly. I should really get my life in order. There's this one devlogger that does farming games now. He's I know his videos are nice, but I wouldn't necessarily. I'm not watching them for game development. I think that's the thing. I kind of do, but it's yeah. Yeah, it's more like lifestyle vlogs than fucking like game dev, I would argue. He just makes good videos, but they're not necessarily just game dev, I would say. Especially when he hears about your toenail eating habit. You guys are spreading misinformation, and I don't like it. I am not happy of this. All right. So now the level just needs a it needs a description. We need to get the platinum time and the platinum score. God, there's a lot of work there. Dude, I gotta fucking do my bookkeeping because tax season. God. That's annoying too. Bro, why can't they just take my money and then fuck off? I don't want to have to do all this paperwork. Do it on stream? You're crazy. You're crazy. It shows my social security number. Anybody want to do this for me? Hey guys, chat, what do I put in this fucking input box, chat? It's the input box 3412. What? Chat, is this a capital asset? I don't know if this is a capital asset. Should I just write off the entire thing for this 1 year? They know how much they want. Yeah, exactly. Just take my money. Just fucking take it anyways. You already took my tax installments this year. I gotta pay another next month or some shit. Doesn't make any sense. What's the fucking point? I don't actually have to pay this shit, do I? You know, I'm not gonna tell you what to do. I'm not your lawyer. My mom does tax stuff for work. Maybe I can get her to watch the stream with me. It's okay. I got an accountant. I just have to do the bookkeeping. I just have to do the bookkeeping for my own, you know, in case I get audited for whatever fucking reason, even though I don't even make that much money. Why would they audit me? I don't even make that much money. I'm fucking poor. All right. Cool. 1 out of 18. 1 out of 18. I'm going to put this task list on all of these. All right. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be the stream for today. Thanks for dropping by. Thanks for looking, chatting, sticking around. Have a great start to your week and or end of your weekend. Take it easy, stay safe, and yeah. 1 out of 18. 1 out of 18. 1 out of 18. 1 out of 18. Ladies and gentlemen, 1 out of 18. Before you know it, this will be 5 out of 18.
Yeah. Yeah.
It could be 1 out of 15. That's true. It's a good point. It's very true. Very true. It could be 1 out of 16. It could be 1 out of 14. It could be 1 out of 10. Let's just fucking cut a bunch of shit. Even shit that's already in progress. No, I think this is doable for March or whatever fucking timeline that we have with the amount of work I have. Yeah. I'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow or the day after, or I don't fucking know. We'll figure it out. I got a bunch of calls that I have to do tomorrow, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly. Or is it the day after? I don't fucking know anymore. I'm lost. I don't even know anymore. Yeah. See you guys around. Let me rate